again, YouTubers. This is the Irish Scrapper back with another tutorial today. Today I'm going to make a very quick and simple card, and it uses very little by the way of product. What we will need is a white card base, a piece of black cardstock, a little bit of, I think what the Irish call hessian and the Americans call burlap, and I'm going to use a paper punch. Now, if there's any piece of equipment that I advise you to get, a paper flower punch is very versatile and you'll get so much use out of it. This is the hessian, and a quarter of a yard of that would cost you about maybe €1 to €1.25, and you'll get so many cards out of that little piece of hessian, it's unbelievable. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors and cut a little square out of the hessian. And then what I like to do is I like to pull the fibres away, and this gives a nice rugged edge. Just pull them away one at a time, like this, from all four sides. And then what you can do is go back in with your scissors and neaten it up a bit. You can cut through this fabric very easily. And that's it. Okay, this piece of card measures 6.5 by 4.5, so 6.5 by 4.5, and we're going to score it at 3.25. So as I said before, you don't need any of the specialized equipment. So here I'm using a ruler, and I'm going to put a little tiny pencil mark at the 3.25 mark at the top, and again a little mark at 3.25 on the bottom. So what I do then to score it is match the two lines up with the ruler and take the back of a butter knife, and we all have those, and just run the butter knife up and down the card a couple of times, and that will give you your score line, as you can see. Fold it in half, and once again then use the butter knife to burnish it. So we're using the butter knife as a bone folder here. Now you have your card base. I'm using a piece of white card to layer on top of the black card, and this measures 3 inches by 4 inches. I'm using the Pritt stick to apply adhesive to the back of the white card, and I layer it then on top of the black card, leaving the same amount of black showing all around. So when we've reached this stage, the next thing to do is to actually apply adhesive to the back of the burlap or hessian. And once again, I'm just using the Pritt tack. I was neatening that up a bit there, and I'm going to apply the Pritt tack to the back of the hessian. And this will hold it in place. Press down firmly, make sure it has good contact. Now, as I said, a flower punch is a wonderful piece of equipment to have when you're a crafter. And these are very simple to use. You just put your piece of scrap paper in through the punch and press firmly down. Now, it shouldn't take that much of an effort to press the punch. However, my one, I must have it 4 or 5 years, and they do suggest that you punch through some tin foil to keep it sharp. So obviously I need to do that with mine. But I wouldn't be without this flower punch. It has so many uses. So I punched out 3 flowers out of a scrap piece of paper. And then what I'm going to use is 3 buttons just to add interest. I have an old button jar there that I save buttons out of anything that's not worth giving into the charity shop. So they don't have to be the same colour buttons. Any colour buttons will do. And what you want to do is just with your finger roll up the edge of the flowers, and this gives them a little bit of dimension. Then apply your Pritt stick to the back of the button and stick it into the centre of the flower like this. And do exactly the same procedure with the other 2 paper flowers. This is a very quick and easy card, and it's literally made from scraps. And finally place the last button into the middle of the flower. And then, place them wherever you think they look good on the hessian. So I've decided to stagger them here and put 1 at the top and 2 underneath. Now I want to put my sentiment. And what I did was I printed out an old Irish saying on the computer. I made a mess of it, but I don't like to throw anything away. So I decided that I'd use the verses of the Irish proverb separately. So I'm cutting around one of the sayings, and because it's difficult sometimes to cut a straight line freehand unless you want to use your ruler and draw around it, I've just done it up and down and rough. So I decided here, because it's white cardstock, not to put it directly onto the card, but to take a scrap piece of black paper and to stick it onto the black paper, and this frames the sentiment and makes it stand out more on the card. And then just simply try to match the other side of the black card so that the sentiment is evenly placed on the piece of black paper. And see then where you want to place it. I wasn't happy here, so I went back in and snipped another bit off. And again, just applying the adhesive. Lining it up and pressing it firmly on the white card. All that remains now is to put the adhesive on the flower, stick the 3 flowers down, like so. Slightly different to the one that I showed as the example, but it's a lovely handmade card that any of your friends would be delighted to get. So there you go, another fast and easy tutorial from the Irish Scrapper. Please subscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe, and you'll get notification when I make my next tutorial.